What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Wednesday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Conium. Thank you for joining me back again after our day off Tuesday. A nice, restful, relaxing day. And I do also want to start this off by saying I hope everybody is safe in Canada and the East Coast, the West Coast, Quebec, Ontario, dealing with the wildfires right now. It's not a great situation. Yesterday, I'm in, an hour west of Toronto, and it smelled like I was at a campsite yesterday all day long. It's supposed to be worse today, so I hope everyone is staying safe from that. Stay inside if you can, and just be safe. Okay, we do have 3 bets for you today, but before we get to that, there's 2 days left to enter this contest. On Friday, I'm giving away $25 in cash to make a bet at your favorite sports book. All you have to do is be a subscriber here on YouTube. That automatically gets you 3 entries. And then if you comment on a video, that gets you an additional entry each and every time you comment. If you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the Daily Squeeze video or like it, that gets you additional entries as well. I'm going to pull a name on the Friday edition of the Squeeze, and that person will get sent $25 cash to make bets at a book of their choice. Okay, 3 bets today, starting with the NBA Finals. Denver Nuggets minus 2.5 for essentially even money. That's minus 108 at FanDuel. I don't know how you break down the finals necessarily. Denver won game 1, 104-93. They won that at home by 11. They had a really, really great first half. Heat kind of caught up a little bit in the second half there. Game 2, Miami wins that by 3 after an unbelievable fourth quarter. Now, what happens now that the series is shifting to Miami? The fourth quarter, Miami outscores. So Miami won the first quarter of Game 2, 26-23. Denver won the second quarter by 9. They won the third quarter by 2. Lost the fourth quarter by 11. Unbelievable shooting from Jimmy Butler in the fourth quarter. Gabe Vincent was 8 of 12. They shot 50% from 3. 17 of 35. I don't think that that's going to happen again. I think the Denver Nuggets just have too much firepower. Listen, I love the Miami Heat. I love Jimmy Butler. I love Eric Spoelstra. I think they're all fantastic. I just think Denver will overmatch them a little bit. I think this game might be a little bit more run and gun. In game 1, we bet Denver on the spread and then the under. The unders hit both times. I don't really want to play with that number because now it's shifting from the high altitude down to Miami. They've been off for a couple of days. I don't know what's going to happen there, aside from I think the Denver Nuggets win this basketball game, and you're getting it at a 3-point bucket, and it's minus 108 at FanDuel. So call it a gut, call it an instinct, bet however you feel. I'm just rolling with the fact that Denver won 1, Miami won game 2. I think it's going to go back to Denver here. I think Denver wins this series. So I'm taking the Denver Nuggets to cover the points for minus 108 at FanDuel. Shifting to the WNBA, we've got the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Dallas Wings, and this should be a pretty good basketball game, actually. I like this one to go over 163. You've got Phoenix Mercury, they're 1-3 on the year. Dallas is 3-3. 1-3 on the spread is Phoenix, 2-3 on the spread is Dallas, so they haven't really been blowing teams out, and Phoenix is the underdog. They've been, keeping it somewhat close. But the over is 3-1 for Phoenix this year, and the over is 4-2 for Dallas. Again, this line is set at 163 for minus 110. When you look at Phoenix's most recent games, they went over 163. They went over that by 29 points. That game did go to overtime, but by 29 points. Against Minnesota, 160, that went over by 12. It did go under in their game against Chicago, but against LA, it went over by 9. And in the, that was going back last season, they've played 4 games. So they've gone over 3 times, and all of those totals have gone way over 163. You look at Dallas, they've gone under the last 2 times. That was at Connecticut and at Washington. Those are both losses. I think Dallas wins this game. Dallas is better than Phoenix, and when they win, or they keep it close, those games are going over. So against Minnesota, it was at 168. That went over by 15. Against Chicago, in the loss, that was at 161. It went over by 21. And in their opener against Seattle, who's brutal, that game was still actually close. It was set at 160. That went over by 25.5. So I suspect to see some scoring in this one. I think Dallas wins this game, which means Dallas probably scores a bunch of points. Give me Phoenix and Dallas over 163 for minus 110 at DraftKings. And your last bet of the day, we're going to shift to MLS action. And this is a really good parlay that I've got for minus 115. We've got Atlanta United FC at Los Angeles FC. Los Angeles FC is the best team in MLS right now. They are 7-1-4. Atlanta, not too bad either. They're coming into this 6-4-6. They've had a lot more draws. The LAFC is undefeated at home. They're 5-0-1. And then when you look at the over-unders, Atlanta is 12-4 to the over. LFC is 8-4 to the over, LAFC. So what I've got cooking here is LAFC to win or a draw, and for this to go over 2 goals. That's a minus 115 parlay at Bet365. Atlanta has just tied 3-3. They've tied 1-1. They tied 3-3. They won 4-0. They lost 3-1. There's only been one game in their last 10 where both teams didn't score a goal, and that was a 4-1 win against Colorado. If both teams score a goal here, you're at 2. For someone to win the game, you get to 3. If you get to 2, though, it's a push, right? That part of the bet is voided. They push the parlay. You go to LAFC, they've won 2-1, tied 1-1, won 3-0, lost 2-1, tied 1-1. You got to go back 8 games ago was the last time it was a 0-0 draw at Colorado. Otherwise, both times, both teams have at least scored, and again, that gets us at least to a push. These teams score a lot of goals. The home side has won all 3 meetings between Atlanta United and Los Angeles FC, and again, we get LAFC to win this or a draw. Atlanta's not beating LAFC at home. It's just not going to happen. So Atlanta has won just 2 of its last 24 road matches dating back to last April. There have been a couple of draws, but they're not winning on the road. LAFC, as I mentioned, 7-1-4 and undefeated at home. So I'm taking LAFC to win this match or draw against Atlanta, and for this game to go over 2 goals. That's minus 115 at Bet365. Okay, those are your bets for Wednesday. We are back. Give me the Denver Nuggets minus 2.5 for minus 108 at FanDuel. I'm taking the Phoenix Mercury and Dallas Wings to go over 163 for minus 110 at DraftKings. And at Bet365, I'm taking LAFC to win or draw, and for that game to go over 2 goals. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Connium for more picks and props throughout the day, TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions, and your audio is on Apple and on Spotify. Have a great Wednesday, and let's talk sports.